Hey, Segovia, coming to you live from the man cave. We're back with another video, y'all. Hope everyone out there had a good weekend. Happy Monday. I got the emergency right here on deck. Feeling a little better. Feeling like my life's coming back to normal after this. Let's get into it, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Check this out, y'all. This all planned?
Over the course of the next several years, Los Angeles will be host to the World Cup and then the Super Bowl and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
My humble position, and it's not just being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. Donald Trump, to his credit, was helpful in getting the Olympics to the United States of America, to get it down here in LA. We thank him for that. This is an opportunity for him to shine, for this country to shine, for California and this community to shine. The opportunity with all of that and all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those three iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
David Muir.
We're already planning California 2.0. Y'all, it's starting to look fishy. Looking like no coincidence. That's a little crazy that the Olympics are coming, Super Bowl's coming. Another event, I don't remember what they said, but those three big events that are going to make the city tons of money, and Gavin Newsom, I'm sure, a lot of money. Everything burns down because they want to rebuild everything.
Got exposed. The guy put on a fireman jacket, went and stood in front of a burning building, didn't like the way that the fireman jacket looked on him, and so he had his production staff, I presume, with clothespins, tightening up the fit of his jacket so that he looked better in the shot standing in front of the fire. I think that everybody out there recognizes how much of a sham it often is, the way that these prima donna media people, and I'm one, but the way that these prima donna media people, I, however, am not a prima donna because I'm not good enough looking to be a prima donna, but the way that they go out and they do their television broadcast and they put on like the fireman jacket, and then they decide they don't look good enough in the fireman jacket, so they use clothespins to try to tighten the look to make them look better on television. It's a really poor position. I think it's less significant than the awful job that David Muir did as the ABC News moderator of the Trump-Kamala debate, when he got tons of things wrong. And I think that has continued and is indicative of why trust in the legacy media continues to collapse.
So 8 Ukrainian generals' mansions burned down in Los Angeles. Wait, why do 8 Ukrainian generals have mansions in Los Angeles?
Mel Gibson was on Fox News where he was asked about the fires that happened in California. To me, I'm not gonna lie, it seemed very, very odd. He was answering questions with a lot of sarcasm. He said, "We know." Then he said, "They know." If you know, you need to say it, because I want to know who they is. But I do have a clue.
This could be tragic with these winds if any fire starts.
Sure. I think we know who the culprits are. Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water. Is it on purpose? Which, it's an insane thing to think, but
Yeah.
It just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're...
JD Vance was on television today talking about lack of competency on your part.
Okay.
What do you say to? You've heard this almost every single day.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. Hurricanes that were attached to fires, unprecedented wind experiences, heroic firefighters from all across the United States. We got folks from Texas, we got folks from Wyoming that have been pounding on this, the best next-gen technology. We've got these fire hawks, guys with night vision goggles, pounding these fires 24/7. We've got thousands of National Guard men and women that have been on here. We pre-positioned 120 engines, helicopters, dozers, water tenders. We did that on Sunday, 2 days before this event. So with respect to the future vice president, I didn't hear his remarks, but I would invite him, as I did Donald Trump, to visit with the community, express empathy of the scale of this tragedy, and be here for the American people that happen to reside here in Southern California.
I saw Jamie Foxx's special. I didn't know what to think. 5 minutes in, I'm crying like a baby. I'll make you watch his funeral. That's his funeral. He ain't even dead. He was just up there. Let me be specific. Anything I say tonight is allegedly. I love Jamie Foxx, but his clone, ain't shit. His clone kept on messing up. The clone showed up with a face full of freckles. We ain't never even seen Jamie Foxx with freckles. This clone is stupid as hell. The clone didn't even have a tattoo on the back of his head. I still don't know what had happened was. That I did the story with, and somebody gave me an aspirin, and 21 days later, wait a minute, what? This when I knew I was gonna fuck. This having butt-naked basketball parties. And I love basketball. But I don't love basketball like that.
Tom Hanks, he's been one of the biggest TV and movie stars for decades. This is his son, Chet Hanks. Now, together, Tom and Chet probably just look like the ordinary father and son duo to people that I call inside of the box thinkers. Now, to people like me, who I call outside of the box thinkers, they see something very different when they look at Chet. For example, here, in this picture, okay, we already see that he has this tattoo on his chest, but that is not the focal point of this image at the moment. What I'd like to know is, what is this? And what is this? Here he is again, shirtless, in what looks like just a normal everyday photograph with no top. And then we look a little bit closer and we see this. What is that? Again, shirtless, body looks impeccable. And then we take a closer look.
Body looks impeccable.
And just look at this line. All the way around to here. What is that? No, I don't want to make any claims or speculate anything in this video. I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and if you're not following me yet, you should be. And come onto my page as well and click my notification bell at the top and tap all so you don't miss none of my future uploads.
Alright, y'all, be nice to me. You're gonna see me looking a lot like this. I can't breathe through my nose, y'all. Mouth's gonna be open during the video. I'm trying not to look weird on camera, but be nice to me in the comments. Your boy's got COVID, and when I get that, I get it pretty bad.
Sound heard all around Scottsdale. A number of home security cameras captured the big boom that rocked several Scottsdale neighborhoods over the weekend.
Across the city heard the mysterious boom that some say sounded like an explosion. Surveillance video captured it. You can hear it from inside this bedroom. NASA said it wasn't a meteor, Entergy said it wasn't a utility, and the Shell refinery said they didn't have issues. So, what was it?
What is going on?
This boom
sounds echoed across San Diego County, with many wondering what exactly they heard and felt.
Now, people reported feeling this boom from all over the county: San Marcos, University City, Solana Beach, Santee, Poway, and in Mira Mesa. Residents we talked to say they typically just chalk up odd noises to military activity, but say this one this morning was much different.
So it's not just loud booms that everybody's hearing everywhere, but now they're hearing like metal screeching on metal or giant trumpets going off. And by the way, this is happening all over the world right now.
I don't get it. I don't know what it is. Okay, listen. You gotta be quiet.
Little girl.
And see, that's really weird because all the things happening right now in the United States.
No. What if it's you can't see anything? Oh, well, I guess her dad's gonna go over there.
See that little girl right there? She picked up on the vibe and said no. They know a lot more based off energy than you would think. I have a pretty good feeling I know what that is, but I'm not gonna say it. What do you think? Let me know below. Oh, and by the way, they're calling for a major earthquake in California in the next 70 hours. Again, I wonder what that noise could be.
I'ma tell you when my mind almost changed. I had already voted down here when Barack Obama spoke to those black men in Pittsburgh and alluded to misogyny being the reason that they weren't voting for Kamala Harris. I was highly offended by that, right? I was like, the nerve, because wait a minute. I can't, you go on a View and they ask you, is there anything about Barack Obama, I'm sorry, not by President Biden, that you found wrong, anything that you would do different? You can't think of anything? Yeah. With 12.5 million people crossing the border? You know, really? You can't think of anything. You see homelessness in the streets. You see crime. You can't think of anything. You see inflation. Even though the economy, they say, has improved or whatever, that's your level of expertise. I can't speak to that. But I'm saying there was plenty of things you could have spoke on. Now, I know you didn't want to throw them under the bus, but when that happened, and then Barack Obama spoke to black men and said that, I was so insulted. Had I not voted already, wow, I might have voted for. That's how pissed off I was. I really was that upset.
Look at the perfectly intact Virgin Mary statue in there.
Let's go
Man,
look at that.
It's look at that. This whole house is gone.
Be mindful of these electrical lines on the floor. Yeah.
This whole house is gone. We're in the backyard. Besides the brick, a perfectly intact Virgin statue.
Can you give me a picture of that next to it? Like a far picture?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to kneel down right there. Look at this. So
like this, like just like.
What's that?
Smoke going behind it.
Whew.
They recreated the movie and they invited real witches on the set, and they had the witches before they would do a scene to cast spells and to invite the actresses to come into this circle with them while they were releasing spell words over the viewers and over the scene. And people are playing it in their home, and it's entertainment. And, you know, Charlene, I always say the first part of entertainment is enter. So be careful what's entering your home.
So we were just driving, and this whole car with all this stuff is wide open. Hello?
Yeah, all this
There's
Milwaukee
no one in
pack
there.
out.
Hello? Okay, so I'm gonna just shut their trunk. Dude, could you imagine someone taking that shit? Okay. That was crazy!
everything else. I just want to determine the facts, but no one has any patience anymore. In this weaponized, back to the grievance of Trump, everyone else, there's immediacy. And lies travel the proverbial world, and it's hard to get the facts out there unless you have the backing of those facts and you can communicate them soberly. And
so do you believe me now? Not only did they withhold the fire trucks in Sacramento, Fox News and the New York Post released the following statement: that California officials rejected the help of New York Fire Department officers that were going to come over here to help. Why are we rejecting the help of the following states that are offering the much needed hands and support that we need to do away with the fire that is destroying thousands of properties? It kind of begs the question, what's really happening? And is this really a cry for help? Or is this possibly a cry wolf moment? As much as we don't want to believe in conspiracies, and as much as we don't want to believe in all these people kind of thinking outside of the box, it begs the question, why are we so hesitant to receive immediate help when it's so much needed?
I mean, it's kind of hard not to believe in the conspiracies, right? Because a lot of stuff's not adding up. But I want to know about, what do you guys think? What do you guys think out there? We got some California natives, Southern California natives, in the CaveFam, and I get some comments from you guys. First of all, how you guys doing out there? How is everything? And second of all, what do you guys think's going on? What do you guys think? Are we being, from the news, being fed the truth, or is there a lot of false narratives going on that, and things we're putting on these reactions hold more truth than that doesn't make sense, because we already know the answer to that. But what do you guys, let me know? Let me know down below. What do you guys, all my California natives out there, I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are safe. But let us know down below what's going on the ground out there.
Jim Carrey's guest list for a 62nd birthday party was quite shocking to me, or should I say eye-opening. Especially people like Seth Green, David Spade. Talk to us, Hanks. What's going on? Didn't his sister-in-law, Kate Spade, also have a red handkerchief situation? You know. And then Jimmy Kimmel. And if Jim Carrey is exposing the industry, why would he surround himself with such people? Has anybody ever wondered if they're characters on and off screen?
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters.
But why would they create characters for the public?
Because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character.
In fact, I don't know one celebrity that hasn't been involved in some kind of scandal. Do any of you remember Jim Carrey's girlfriend, Katharina White? She was found unalived in her apartment after a several on and off year relationship with Jim Carrey. And then a note was found in her iPad 2 years prior to this incident, accusing Jim Carrey of introducing her to diseases, among a bunch of other horrific things. Her family was suing Jim Carrey. Her ex-husband, Mark Burton, tried to sue Jim Carrey. They were trying to prove whether he gave her medication, whether he gave her STDs. Long story short, the case was thrown out. And don't even get me started on the video he made for Emma Stone.
And every day for the rest of your life, you would thank God that I was the appropriate age for you.
Wait, what?
Anyways, I think the world is just in love with the characters they play on and off screen.
Can you imagine somebody having $32 million and this person has nothing? And you can sleep?
That's true, huh? You have money that can just change the world, but at the end of the day, some people don't want to change, right? You gotta, you want the change, you gotta be the change first and foremost, right? Somebody comes give them $1 million, what are they gonna do with it? You know what I mean? But you could build, not saying I don't know if he is, but you could build communities for the homeless or something, right? If you had all that money, I'm not saying going out there and give everyone $1 million, because that's just gonna make problems worse. But
they'll go to the movies about.
How do you sleep at night?
These are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. Having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole nine. That's not fair to me.
In 1925, they made all these predictions about 2025, where we are today. Number one, they predicted in 1925 people will live to be 150.
No, we're not there.
Next, food will be delivered by tubes from communal kitchens.
I mean,
Uber Eats. A television machine will replace the daily pictorial newspapers.
Yeah.
Giant airplanes will fly 50 passengers between London and Paris only in a couple hours. That's pretty close. Crime will be treated as a disease. It'll be splendid when they put you in a bed, take your temperature, and bring you grapes for buying cigarettes after hours.
What? That's the crime back then?
People will be awakened by radio alarm clocks. We've already moved on from that one.
That was a long time ago.
Baldness will be universal.
Not yet.
You rooting for that one?
Yes.
We will run out of oil. We haven't. Hey, who knows? I think we're crawling towards. Smoking will be a thing of the past.
We're getting there.
Books will be printed on nickel leaves and will contain 30,000 pages. Yes, except it's an iPad. Banking and burglary will be wireless.
Wow, they
fraud.
nailed it.
In many ways.
Wire fraud.
Yes. There'll be a wheat shortage. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like we can mass produce that.
And
Unfortunately.
speakers will be able to address the entire world at once, and the unification of the human race will be complete. Oh, we're the opposite. No, yeah, the human race is not complete, and we're not together at all.
As you guys could see, everything is being blocked off. But what you guys could really see here is that we have the military, we got cops, we have FBI agents. What do you think is going on here? You tell me. They won't let us in our house. And man, this shit's getting fucking weird. Let's be honest. There's some different shit out here in Cali.
So on Thursday, January 9th, U.S. Border Patrol El Paso sector agents, as well as Homeland Security investigations, discovered a man-made cross-border tunnel that was leading from El Paso, Texas into Juarez, Mexico. And on the same day, the El Paso Station Confined Space Entry Team, or CSET, conducted an inspection on the storm drain of the tunnel crossing from Juarez to El Paso through the storm drain system. At about 1:15 in the morning, agents discovered the completed man-made tunnel that was leading from Mexico that breaches into the public storm drain after removing a metal plate covering a 36 by 36 inch entry hole. The tunnel's about 6 feet tall and 4 feet wide and is equipped with lighting, a ventilation system, and is braced with wood beams throughout the entire tunnel. They said, quote, "We are proud of the agents who discovered the smuggling infrastructure used by transnational criminal organizations," end quote. The El Paso sector is going to be working closely on the investigation with the Homeland Security's investigations, FBI, the El Paso CBP Office of Field Operations, the El Paso Police Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Mexican government, and also the U.S. Consulate General Ciudad Juarez for the subsequent remediation of the tunnel. Hopefully they're going to drop some demolition charges in there and blow the thing up.
These images supplied by local media in LA tell an interesting story, don't they? I mean, it is just simply amazing, the destruction to buildings. But it seems to have spared much of the greenery. Yet it somehow destroyed a concrete and stucco building. But the very fuel that is being blamed for the massive spread remains intact in image after image. Not even churches made of concrete can survive, yet their shrubberies look impeccable. It makes you kind of wonder about things. Huh. Oh, I'm sure it means nothing, right?
Hey, Hollywood. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you, Hollywood, have believed what you have believed. And now look at you. All that money and power and influence, and yet still you cannot survive. The difference between who and where these Hollywood people are at now is the difference between looking in the mirror and knowing one's self truthfully or not.
There's just so much symbolism with this year, and it already seems wacky and full of conspiracy. Yet we've stopped talking about the drones and the UFOs.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, there's no... What drones?
Dude, if they're just pranking us, I'm gonna be so mad.
I know.
What if it's just like Mr. Beast somehow? Like,
Dude,
just like,
it's like, and we're dropping season 2 of my game show. We're gonna be in space.
game.
He is behind everything. Yeah, I was like, I thought it was a stretch that Josh was saying that he might be like the Antichrist. But we were watching that show that he put out, and it's like, this guy's maniacal.
It's a little, it's really kind of freaky.
It is.
Let it be for nothing.
And it's like, chill out, take a breath. And then also the very first challenge, it's like you betray like people in your quadrant or something like that. I mean, he's giving away gargantuan amounts of money.
But
like,
the first kid that did it,
it was like $2,000. And he sent his whole row home over $2,000.
He's like, I got a family at home, man. It's like
it's like $2,000.
What are you gonna do with that?
If you waited 5 minutes, you would have won $100,000.
Trump just tweeted out, I think 10 hours ago on Truth Social, asking Kim to step down. He go, one of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States and America is burning down to the ground. It's ashes, and Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault. Resign. By the way, then you have Zach Levi, the actor from Shazam, who was the actor playing Kurt Warner. He's been in a lot of different movies. Phenomenal actor. He goes out there and he says, do we not do an investigation on this? Sure. Don't we find out and see what's going on with this here? I mean, some people have responsibilities on what's going on here. What happened here? How do you get here? Then there's a clip of Trump from 2018 standing right next to Newsom telling him of how this in Denmark, they're able to prevent this from happening. Rob, if you can play this clip, go for it.
It's cleaned out and protected. Got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And when it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that, to that end, and it's going to work out.
See this? I mean, I've never been out of the country, so I don't know, but like in Finland and, those types of places that say we clean the forest so that this doesn't happen. Is there a lot of greed over there too? Because we just saw in the other video I just posted that Gavin Newsom is supposed to be making like, let's just say $250,000 a year, but he just bought a house for $10 million. Now, that's not possible with a $250,000 income to buy a $10 million house. So he's getting a lot of this money that should be going to cleaning the forest, should be going to, helping the homeless, doing things like that. A lot of greed goes on with our politicians. Does that happen a lot in these countries that, clean up their cities so they don't burn down? Like, I'm sure a lot of people from these fires, Gavin Newsom included, is going to get a lot of money from this because a lot of donations are coming through, a lot of, insurance things happening. So I'm sure they're going to get a lot of money going into the state. And then we got a huge Super Bowl going there. We got a huge Olympics going there. They're going to get a lot of money in the state then too. It doesn't go to where it needs to go.
So Ford logo right here stamped on this thing. 2021 Ford Bronco.
This is greed right here. Look at this Bronco.
60,000 miles. Check this out.
Plastic.
Would you buy something like that? I think I would rather get in a
car
crash using my toolbox than I would with this Ford Bronco. This thing's a POS,
Plastic.
if you ask me.
Plastic. $80,000 vehicle. Look at that. Look at that. Greed in America.
I think if you get in a car crash with this, you'll probably die.
Something extremely weird is going on with the weather, and not just for us, and also there's weird sounds coming from the sky. Weird sounds and weird things. So let me preface this video by saying I have no idea what's going on, but I do know one thing. Yesterday I was outside with my wife, and it was freezing outside. It's been in the low 20s, we got rain, the atmosphere was like 30 degrees, and no snow came. That was not the weird part though. We have a cat's water bowl outside, and the entire time it was out there for days, it had never frozen. If you feed stray animals, you may know what I'm talking about because it always freezes and you always have to replace it. So what's going on now where the animal's water outside will not freeze in the 20s? Again, for 5 days straight, it's been like 20-something degrees and it did not freeze. Much like this video right here, it belongs to this person right there. So they had their water outside for 5 hours or something like that
should have froze
before the snow even came, and somehow the water just did not freeze. The freezing temperature of water is anything below 32 degrees. We had this issue last year when a whole bunch of water ball companies and their water would, for some reason, not freeze. So yeah, we got some questions about this. We're about to get into the things falling from the sky and the sounds in the sky and all that, but hold on. Alright, so that's one thing. You know, we thought it was incredibly weird. It didn't snow when it had been in the 20s and the low 30s when it was raining. And apparently others' waters wasn't freezing as well. Now this guy found this block of something that was in the snow. His act can be seen right here for the full
rice.
Check this out.
Looks like rice.
Man, look at it. It's not even melting like snow. It's like doughy. See that?
So new question. Why is doughy clumps falling from the sky with the snow? A whole lot of people are coming and say, it's normal, it's normal. Look, I've been alive for 30 years, you guys. We all have lived the same life you have. Half the world is under flames right now, and people are like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. But wait, it gets even deeper. So 2 days ago, I kept hearing explosions in the sky. And I was sitting here like, what is going on? There was no thunderstorm, no clouds, just explosions going off. I figured maybe it was my neighbor, but it wasn't. Then I come across this video where they're in North Carolina, I'm in South Carolina, and they all had explosions in the sky too. Even the comments were talking about all the explosions in the sky and police officers not knowing what it was.
What? What?
So yeah, I just have a question. What the heck is going on? Somehow, every single day gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And by the way, with this platform seeming to be going, I want you guys to know, they don't treat us that good over here. Which is why 1 year ago I made this place my main, and we're also kicking butt over on this place. It's really not the end of the world, guys, and I'm working with a lot of y'all's favorite creators to get them established over there. If y'all just knew what most of us creators go through over here, let me know what you think below.
Let's think about this now. What's going to happen next? Well, over 10,000 structures. Think about this. 10,000 structures have burnt down to the ground in Los Angeles. That's houses, schools, businesses. 10,000 structures. Now, before the insurance companies pay a dime, they have to send adjusters out to every single structure to inspect the structure and write up a report. Trust me, I've been through this. And then send it back to the insurance company. And then the insurance company will decide what it's going to pay out, when it's going to pay out. And you better hope they never find an arsonist responsible for these fires, because that'll give the insurance companies a perfect out. Oh, it's not an act of God. Oh, we don't cover that. So once the reports get back to the insurance companies, then they got to decide who gets what and when. When's that going to happen? How long is that going to take? Then all the 10,000 structures, they have to remove all the debris. They don't have the crews to remove the debris in a timely fashion. How long is that going to take? And suppose you own a house that's worth, I don't know, you bought it for $600,000 and now it's worth $2 million, and that's what it's going to cost to rebuild it. And the insurance company decides, okay, we're going to cover the cost of the rebuild. And when is that going to happen? You know, there's only so many construction crews, and they're going to be working at a premium, and they're going to be working on their schedules. It's a horrific situation. You're looking at years to recover from this.
If you got a clean car, this is why you don't want to go through one of these car washes. Just say a truck just came through with mud all over it, right? See all them rocks, all that sand? That's what's finna be on your car. hitting the side of that bad boy at about 95 miles an hour.
I'm not saying he's guilty. I don't know. Okay. I cut my bangs myself and it turns out like this. So why would you trust me? But I would just like to go on record saying, if it is true, everyone who came at me when I pointed out that in the Drunken Love song, which I love, it's a bop, except for the part where Jay-Z says, "Eat the cake, Anna Mae." Google it. Ike Turner said it to Tina. I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. I'm going to return to eating my cheese bread with pickles and mind my business.
Many people attribute the survival of a single house in an area otherwise decimated by these fires to luck or good fortune. But this woman made a video, and it makes me wonder if there's something else that could be at play. But probably not.
So I talked to the owner of this house right here in Pasadena. I talked to the owner. The owner does not have a smarter on this house, on the front part of his house. There's no smart, no smarter. So the house did not burn. The back house is the part of the house that had the smarter, and everything in the back of his house is burnt.
So let's start investigating. If you're in California, go to a surviving house and ask the owner some questions and get back to me, and we'll make a whole series about it.
Did you see the clip of Caruso calling in and telling I can't remember what station it was, but Caruso calls into a news station and he was like, guys, I'm looking at the firefighters in the Palisades. The fire hydrants have no water in them.
Yeah, they don't.
They have no water.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how are we supposed... This should never happen here. And then he hangs up and the host goes, just so everybody knows, we've got no reports of there not being water in the hydrants. And then they click to their person on the ground, and the person on the ground goes, hey, so we're hearing from firefighters that there's no water in the hydrants. It was the craziest back and forth.
I have a buddy who lost his house. His name is Jeff. And he, yesterday at 12 o'clock, his house was still up. And he called the fire department saying, hey, I'm seeing that it's getting closer. And their response to him was, we don't have water.
Yeah.
And sure enough, 4 hours later, his house was gone.
Yeah. So Governor Newsom last night, they asked him about the water and why the water wasn't in the reservoirs and how this mismanagement happened. This to me is a mismanagement. This one, I think leadership is entirely to blame for. And he was like, look, this is a local issue. Like, I don't know.
Do you realize our clocks are ticking more slowly than the clocks that are on GPS satellites? Because they are farther away from Earth's center of gravity than we are. The closer you are to a source of gravity, the slower your time ticks. And they portrayed that in the movie Interstellar. When the guys went down to the planet around the black hole, they were down there for 15 minutes. They came back up to the spaceship. The guy had been there for 20 years. Time is always being touched by your speed and by the strength of the gravitational field you're in.
I want to be very, very clear. Yes, we took a $17 million budget cut. And as we know, any budget cut would negatively impact our ability to carry out our mission. I want to also clarify that I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. It's my job as the fire chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department to make sure that our firefighters have exactly what they need to do their jobs. And that's why I'm talking to you today. The Palisades fire, everybody's seen it. It is absolutely one of the most horrific natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles. And even with an additional 100 engines, I tell you, we were not going to catch that fire. But with that being said, let me be clear. The $17 million budget cut and the elimination of our civilian positions like our mechanics did and has and will continue to severely impact our ability to repair our apparatus. So with that, we have over 100 fire apparatus out of service, and having these apparatus in the proper amount of mechanics would have helped. And so it did absolutely negatively impact. I want to also be clear that I have, over the last 3 years, been clear that the fire department needs help. We can no longer sustain where we are. We do not have enough firefighters. With that, I have also requested multiple budgets, interim budgets, to show how understaffed, under-resourced, and underfunded the LEFD is. So with that, also, we have clear data that shows the LEFD needs more help. We need 62 more fire stations. These reports also show that we've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010. And guess what? We're doing it with less firefighters. I was also directed to develop a plan as part of a budget reduction exercise, and that could equate to $48.8 million. And I rang the bell that these additional cuts could be very, very devastating for our ability to provide public safety. That would have resulted to 15 fire stations closing down and potentially the elimination of over 300 firefighters. Again, I want to be clear that I submitted a very large budget that will actually allow our firefighters to do their jobs. And I tell you,
Also, did you hear?
Like, can you imagine being a firefighter? Like, this is it. This is what we trained for. Our city's going to burn down if we don't get out there and get to work. We can't wait for reinforcements to come. Like, we got to go. You hook up your hose. Everyone's ready. Crank it up. Drips are coming out. Like, could you imagine that? The helplessness, seeing these houses just burning and it's just going and going and going. And then you watch a clip and you see your governor or your mayor of the city saying those are conspiracy theories. Those never happened. We need to stop this divisionness. And that's got to be the most frustrating thing ever.
About that congresswoman that was found, she was missing. Oh, dude, this is crazy. It's in the state of Texas. She's this congresswoman. She's been missing for 6 months. Her name is Kay Granger. Missing for 6 months, and she is found in a dementia clinic in a nursing home.
What?
So people knew where she was, but didn't report because they wanted to continue things without her. And then she came out and she did a speech. It was almost incoherent.
We watched a TikTok the other day. It was like from CSNBC or something. And they're like, oh yeah, the cabinet for Biden is admitting to knowing that he was in declining health for this serious amount of time. And it's like, no one's surprised.
It's like, so
the bread is in the bakery.
We knew you were lying.
They were gaslighting us. I remember being on like the extra defense and like it was like politically incorrect to acknowledge that he had an issue.
Yeah, so it was
and,
it was like almost ageist. It was like, how dare you? Like, he's our president.
Yeah.
Why would you? It's like, listen, presidents have declining health. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I don't know. I think I should run for office. I'm going to fix this.
I think you should,
So
yeah.
does running for office actually, like, you have to run?
Yeah,
Never
a little
mind.
bit.
Listen.
What if there's a silver alert for Joe Biden? He just wandered off into Washington, D.C. That'd be crazy.
Into this.
I am 83 years old. I was in the McDonald's drive-through this morning. The young lady behind me leaned on her horn and started mouthing some ugly things because I was taking too long to place my order. So when I got to the first window, I paid for her order along with my own. The cashier must have told her what I had done because as we moved up, she leaned out her window and waved to me as she began mouthing, thank you, probably feeling embarrassed that I had repaid her rudeness with kindness. When I got to the second window, I showed the server both receipts and I took her food too.
That's a cold-blooded man right there. That's a cold-blooded man.
Now she has to go back to the end of the queue and start all over again.
That's funny.
Don't blow your horn at old people. We've been around for a long time.
That's cold-blooded right there. That's some dark stuff.
That's
That's
good or
twisted
what?
mind. That's
I
cold.
love it.
That was a preacher. That was ministries. These are what they're building in Arizona on every corner of every block. Anybody looking to get in started in a new business and you got a lot of apartments going up in your area? Valet trash business. Look into it.
Did you know that if you don't finish a soda or soda water before you go to bed at night. You can put a spoon or a fork or a stainless steel straw, it has to be stainless steel, in your can and put it in the fridge. And the next day, it won't be flat.
When she just said it, I mean, the lady knows everything. This is her internet. And y'all just start paying attention to what this woman is saying, because she is predicting and telling us.
And those are the people that worship those celebrities.
Okay, so now the latest news tells us that the deputy mayor of Los Angeles called in an anonymous bomb threat. They traced it back to him. His home has been raided, and he's been put on administrative leave. This is the deputy mayor in Los Angeles. You can't make this shit up. You can't.
Then they gotta go.
They gotta go. You know what? They gotta go. I don't give a damn if they do. After what I've seen last week, they gotta go. They gotta. I'm done. I'm done, Kevin. I'm done.
Sometimes there are natural disasters you can't do a damn thing about. When a hurricane hits your house down in Florida, what can you do? Are you yelling at the politicians to stand out there and stop the winds?
Kev, I'm not going off about the fires. The fires is not their fault. But when firefighters are standing there and saying there's not enough water in the fire hydrant.
That's true.
When Donald Trump asked for water to be pumped from Canada into the LA system and Gavin Newsom opposed that. When you're hearing about environmentalists compelling him to protect smelt and little fish and salmon at the expense of LA citizens, of California citizens, Kevin, I don't need much else than that. I just don't. Maybe you're nicer than me. Maybe I'm too cruel. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Like, why wouldn't you have Canada pump some water into your drought state? It's political. I will not take anything from Donald Trump. I believe my Democratic Party is way better than that. I don't care that my people have a chance that this whole damn state can burn down. Instead of that, I'm gonna be greedy and put my emotions before the people. Like, it's all could have been avoided, y'all. That's what's annoying. That's what makes me angry. I'm sure that's what makes the people of LA and California super angry. This all could have been avoided.
Nothing like just getting back from fucking Sam's Club and going to make lunches, open the bag. Look, that fucking inflation. I hate these fucking corporations. What do you fucking scam?
Ooh, she's had it up to here.
Not even half full. Not even. It's full to here. All fucking air. Fucking scumbags.
That's annoying, y'all.
And this is that home, unfortunately, that was burned in the Mandeville Canyon area. And you can see a water drop directly on it was unable to initially put that fire out. Instead, that water mostly became steam. As you see, as it floated up, it seems like the flames weren't even touched at all. And then a second water drop came in from a different water dropping helicopter. And this one did a direct hit on that house. And you can see as that water comes down and just completely coats that house in water, the flames seem almost untouched. Now, this home that you were looking at here, this is near Mandeville Canyon and Merrimack Road. It's about 50 years old, mostly wood and stone. It had a custom balcony with a pool down there. And unfortunately, as SkyCal went to go look at other parts of the fire, came back, this is what we found, the complete destruction of that home. And unfortunately, due to property records, we think the person that lived there had only been living there for about 2 years. Now they're going to come home to a home that is absolutely destroyed. Now, the firefighter...
Who was going to be our next president? You've already got him. You've already got the next president. Trump will be the next president. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But it's going to really be very, very difficult because they are planning on some kind of an international movement against Trump. And there's no doubt in my mind about that. He's going to go through some terrible times because they are trying to overthrow him and get him out of office because they know that he knows what's going on and he knows who the enemy is, and they're trying to get rid of him because they know that the next election is going to be really tough. So I believe that we're going to see some terrible things happening soon.
Bro, it's 4 a.m., right?
and I just picked a random episode on The Simpsons. You know how they always predicting shit, right? So tell me if I'm tripping, or is this not what's going on in the world? Watch this.
Terrifying new term for it. It's an Arctic blast with a bomb cyclone and a chance of tornado, or as we in the news business call it, an Arctic-o-nado.
None of us call it that, Cat.
Pipe down, Arnie. I'm selling hoodies.
Am I tripping or what?
Did you know the center of California was a giant lake?
They have so much water.
You ever see what it looks like before
No,
they
I
rerouted
never
it?
saw that.
The center of California had a enormous lake in the middle of
So
California.
they dumped it into the Pacific.
Who knows what they did? But whatever foolishness that they did led to the situation that they're in now.
Think of those dry forests that burned down all over the world. You know, the head of Austria said,
There
you
it
know,
is, Tulare Lake or Tachi Lake. It's a freshwater lake in the southern San Joaquin Valley, United States. Historically, Tulare Lake was one of the largest freshwater lakes west of the Mississippi. Show a photo of what it looked like back then.
It's a great system.
So that's what it looked like. Look at that image. That was an
wow.
enormous
What a
lake
beautiful
in the
thing.
middle of California. Imagine that.
That'd be much more valuable
How
property.
crazy is that?
All right, time for another snow test. As y'all can see, this one right here is clear, okay? The last one had a bunch of crazy stuff in it. Everybody wanted to say it was off the ground, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to put this bowl right here. The bowl's going right here. Look, nothing's in the bowl. Nothing. It's going to sit right here, let it fill up, be right back. All right, here we are 2 hours later, getting the bowl, moment of truth. Oh, yeah, dude. That's crazy, ain't it? All right, look, y'all pay attention. I'm going to knock some off so it don't spill in the house. I don't want to melt my floors off or anything, getting the stuff on the floor, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there we have it, completely full. Look how sparkly this stuff is. Look at this. Y'all ever seen anything like that? All right, go in here. Dang that dirt bike, boy. Microscope test. Here we go. It's literally only been 30 minutes. Look how much has came. Look, there's no water down there. There's no water whatsoever. But what is it doing? Shrinking how? Tell me. Clean slide. Y'all ready? And I got gloves on. Look at this. Ready? All right. Whoop. That's all we're going to need right there. Look. So as you can see, look, literally, this is how it's going to go. Just like that. Now watch this. Hold on. Look at there. Same exact thing, okay? Look. Same exact thing. Y'all tell me what on earth this is supposed to be. It's purple and it's in the snow. And look, there it is. Look at that. The slide. Look at that. Has not. That's it. That's what's on there. What y'all just saw is what I just showed you. That's it. Explain that.
I think it's arson. Look at Ventura County.
We're riding.
Right on the border of
Smell
LA.
smoke. Find
Right in
this.
the hills.
In Hill Canyon, someone dumped their ash here, and it is about to ignite. We got crazy winds. Hill Canyon.
My rope's like ready
These
to
are the
burn.
hills right behind my house.
I will go to my grave saying that Tom Brady knew that the balls were then being deflated. Because the only reason balls are deflated is if that's how the quarterback likes the footballs. I know that from experience.
I think the NFL scripted. You think I really would have played along with the script that had me losing to Peyton's little brother Eli twice in the Super Bowl?
That's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script.
It was discovered that 11 of the 12 Patriots balls were underinflated by roughly 2 pounds per square inch.
If balls were deflated, as I said a week after it all happened, if balls were deflated,
they're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's in plain sight.
On January 26, 2015, the same day the Patriots arrive in Arizona for the Super Bowl, it is reported that the league had interviewed a Patriots locker room attendant who was allegedly caught on surveillance during the AFC game, taking 2 bags of footballs from the official's locker room into a bathroom and leaving the bathroom 90 seconds later.
I don't know what to think, honestly. There's a lot of evidence. I don't know. What do you think?
Can someone explain this to me? Is this OCD? Creepy. Does this guy have OCD? Look, what is he combing over? Look, then he does it again. And combs it over. Like, he doesn't have hair to fix. Is this OCD?
Look, he looks miserable.
Does it again, puts it on barely. Then does it again. Is that OCD? Does he have OCD? Someone explain this to me, please.
Physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Oh
Oh my goodness.
There she is.
How you doing, Karen?
I am doing great. It's so exciting to see you.
Well, it is good to see you. I just finished a rally here in Georgia.
I know.
For the Democrats here, Stacey Abrams.
Yep.
Raphael Warnock.
Yep.
But I wanted to make sure I took some time out to talk to you personally. Just to say how proud I am of your campaign. And to just let you know that, you know, you were there early for me when I ran for president.
Always.
You've always been on the right side of the issues that we care so deeply about.
Thank you.
And I'm confident you're going to be an outstanding mayor of LA.
Oh,
so,
thank you so much.
You know,
I did age well.
As you know, you got to run through the tape.
Exactly.
So you got a little more work to do.
Exactly.
But I'm really proud of you and grateful for your friendship. More importantly, grateful for the service you've rendered all these years and all the stuff you're going to do in the future.
Well, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me, and it means the world of Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Pull up the video of the tall Biden, because there ain't no way. Look at the size of this
does look huge. Look at him.
Bro,
That's not real, dude.
That's real. Look at the
That's not
size
real.
of his legs. He's never that much taller than Jill. Jill's wearing heels, son. Look at her heels. He's towering over her. That's a giant Biden.
Last year, El Salvador only had 114 murders. And El Salvador used to be the most dangerous place
on earth.
On earth.
On earth, nigga.
Average between 4,000 to 6,000 murders a year.
Yeah.
And now they say it's the safest place. You can go there, you can walk around, you don't have to worry about anything. Because the president there put everybody in jail. If you had any tattoos that looked like you were involved with anything, he put you in jail. Do you feel like that should happen in America?
Yes. Not only that, he built a new prison. Boy, that new motherfucking prison he built is a bad mother. They don't get, boy, probably, homie, this is a inmate's worst nightmare. See, in America,
4,000 to 6,000 murders per year, down to 150, whatever, and some change per year. 4,000 to 6,000 to 150 by one politician. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people maybe that didn't do crimes that are locked up, right? Because he was saying if you got anything that looks, you know, we see a lot of people out with tattoos that look like, you know, they got face tattoos, but they're just normal, you know, just like tattoos. Over there, they're locking your ass up for that. I don't care, right? So they couldn't do that here, but 4,000 to 6,000 down to 100 from one politician.
prison is too good. Play domino, get to play basketball, get phone calls. No, this prison here, man, they created a prison that's so cold. Nah, homie, that's what we need over here. Yeah, we need stricter laws over here for street and criminals. They got it too easy.
Yeah, but I mean, stricter laws is like what? You feel like the punishment should be harsher?
If you got gang tattoos, you're arrested. Yeah, if you showing up in a neighborhood and you celebrate this day as a gang, everybody celebrating at that park and gets arrested.
Evacuate! Evacuate the state
Remember
of
this guy?
California right now. Survive San Andreas. Y'all don't want to be here when that earthquake hit. We talking all the celebrities gone in one day. We talking all the gangbangers gone in one day. Evacuate the state of California. Survive San Andreas. Evacuate! Evacuate the state of California. Survive San Andreas. Thank you for showing me the vision so I can come save your children.
Remember the $15 billion Biden gave Pacific Gas and Electric a week before the fires? Their smart meters were having problems blowing up. Lithium-ion batteries were causing fires, 6,000 degrees, incinerating homes. But your governor hired these commissioners at the California Public Utility Commission. And these folk said that they didn't cause the problems. The same commission that said we got to save the Longfin smelt and not your home, publishing a 28-page report how we had to save the fish, let all the water drain into the Pacific and not in the reservoirs. Seems kind of fishy to me.
Customer comes in and says they got their oil change at Walmart and their engine's knocking now. So let's take a look at what's going on. Oh no.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feeling a little better today. It's my second time with the 19. This is my second round with it. First one was way worse. I had it bad for like a day and a half of just terrible. Slowly starting getting better. Last video I wasn't feeling too good. Today I'm feeling a little better. You know, I'm probably gonna go pick up some dog poop, blow out the front and backyard, get it looking a little nice because it looks a little bad. But we just got news. We were supposed to do induce my mama bear tomorrow, but while I was doing the reaction, I got to edit it out. Hopefully I remember. We got news that we're gonna, you know, postpone it to what we were originally gonna do on the 21st of January. So, you know, we each get a week. She's tired. She hasn't been sleeping good. She's got a little cold, but tested negative. I'm gonna keep my distance from her. And I told her if we go to the stores, if we go anywhere, you know, I never thought to, you know, the baby's coming, I need to mask up. You know, I didn't think of that. I didn't even think about it because I was out in public and that's when I got it. So now we know, but everything's good. She's healthy. She does have high blood pressure, so that's why the doctor wanted to kind of get it done, you know, as soon as possible because her blood pressure is up and down. So we just got to keep an eye on that and hopefully everything, you know, stays calm. But the doctor did confirm, because they told us earlier in the morning, the MA said I'm not going to be able to be in the hospital at all. Like, I'm not going to be there for the baby to be born. So that's why I was like, nope. I put my foot down. I been biting my tongue with these people because it's her. Do makes you happy. Give me that phone. I told her, nope, we're going to reschedule this. But she said when the doctor was talking to her, she said, I just wouldn't be able to go in and out, you know, go out of the room to get some family, come bring them back in. I would have to stay there for the night, wherever. I ain't going nowhere, mask up. So at least if she goes into labor, I'll be able to be in there with her. That's what I was worried about. I was stressed about. And number two, I'm happy she's testing negative. She's tested twice. She's negative, but I do got to do a better job on my part to keep my distance. But anyways, y'all, I thought I'd fill you guys in. I'm feeling a little better. We should be getting back to daily uploads. I needed a break yesterday. It was a lot, you know, stressful. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was going to be able to be in the room with the baby and see my boy born for the, you know, see my first birth. And not be able to be in the room was kind of taking a toll on me. Felt like it was my fault, you know, a lot of weight on my shoulders yesterday. But getting that phone call that it's postponed for another week is a weight lifted off. So I'm back with videos, y'all. I'm feeling better, back to normal, getting there. So I hope everyone out there has a good Monday, y'all. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.